Climate change and the Great Migrations. From the Arabian Peninsula. The gradual onset of aridity in the Arabian Peninsula following the end of the last ice age, approximately 10,000 years ago, led to a corresponding outward migration of its inhabitants. These migrations occurred in successive waves and distinct stages. In the distant past, migration was not an individual decision. The cohesion and solidarity of the tribe were essential for survival under the harsh environmental conditions of the time. Consequently, these movements were collective journeys from regions of drought toward lands of abundance. Archaeological evidence supports the early presence of camels in these desert regions as far back as 10,000 years ago, as evidenced by camel petroglyphs discovered at the Kilwa site in southern Amman, Jordan. Among the prominent groups that migrated from the Arabian Peninsula were the Akkadians, Canaanites, Amorites, Arameans, and Hebrews, among others. The reach of the Canaanites was particularly extensive, with archaeological traces found as far as the Balearic Islands east of Spain. They were also the founders of the great city of Carthage. Furthermore, evidence suggests that prehistoric southern Arabia served as a vital corridor connecting Babylon, Elam, and Egypt, eventually becoming a settled home for many of these migrant populations. Orientalists widely acknowledge the extraordinary linguistic wealth of the Arabic language. The scholar Wolf Dietrich Fischer remarked that the vast vocabulary of Arabic, in particular, points to an unusual abundance and profound antiquity. This immense wealth suggests that Arabic itself may have served as the mother tongue for other related dialects. Fisher further notes that generations of researchers have believed the Arabic lexicon could effectively represent the common Proto-Semitic lexicon. Similarly, the scholar Olshausen asserted that Arabic remains the closest of all Semitic languages to the ancient Proto-Semitic mother tongue. The influence of southern Arab populations also extended into East Africa. Evidence of this migration is found in the earliest inscriptions discovered in Ethiopia, Abyssinia, which are not written in any of the indigenous languages attributed to the region, but are rather inscribed in ancient South Arabian. Linguistic features we need to know. The Arab lands encompass an expansive heritage stretching across vast territories, from the southern corner of the Red Sea at Bab al-Mandab and the ancient history of Somalia, to Sudan with its historical pyramids numbering over 200, and reaching through Yemen, Iraq, Greater Syria, Egypt, and across North Africa to the Atlantic Ocean. This profound heritage, rooted in the deepest antiquity, served as the foundation for subsequent civilizations. The Greek civilization, for instance, followed the civilizations of Egypt, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen by more than 2 millennia. These ancient Arab Oriental civilizations were transmitted to the Greeks, returned to the Arabs during the translation movement of the Abbasid era, and were eventually passed through the Arabs to Europe. One of the most significant contributions of these ancient civilizations to the world is the modern alphabet. All contemporary alphabets used today for European and various Eastern languages descend from the alphabetic system invented by the Canaanites in Syria. Approximately 3,700 years ago, the Canaanites evolved earlier writing systems into the first true alphabet, a fact recognized by contemporary scholars. This lineage is still evident in the nomenclature of writing itself. While it is known as alif ba ta in Arabic, it is called the alphabet in Western languages. As Robert G. Hoyland notes, the Greek alphabet directly descends from the Canaanite Phoenician system. The very word alphabet is derived from the Arabic alif ba ta. It is noteworthy that the term alphabet itself traces its roots back to al-Ariba names of the first letters, alif and ba and ta, which form the foundation of the Arabic writing system. In his monumental work, The Story of Civilization, Will Durant asserts that it was within the Arab world that humanity first developed agriculture and trade, domesticated the horse, and pioneered the use of vehicles. It was here that coinage was minted, letters of credit were established, and various crafts, industries, laws, and governments were formed. Furthermore, this region gave birth to the foundational sciences of mathematics, medicine, including the earliest medical procedures, drainage systems, engineering, astronomy, and the development of calendars, clocks, and the zodiac. The invention of the alphabet, the art of writing, and the creation of paper and ink all trace their origins to this cradle of civilization.
This was followed by the authorship of books, the construction of libraries, and the flourishing of literature, music, sculpture, and architecture. The inhabitants of this region produced exquisite glazed pottery and fine furniture. They established the tenets of monotheism and monogamy, and introduced the use of cosmetics, jewelry, and even board games and drama. From the imposition of taxes to the employment of wet nurses and the consumption of wine, the foundations of organized social life were laid here. This historical continuity in social customs is mirrored in the linguistic evolution of the region. To trace word origins and meanings, it is essential to note several characteristics of these ancient dialects that are still present in Arabic. I will mention only some of them.